Alright, wonderful fuckers. Welcome back to Practicing Fundamentals, Artwod Beginner Roadmap, right? ARTWOD. Link in description. Check out their freemium plan, all that shit. I'm not affiliated. Again, I'm not fucking affiliated. One day they'll recognize the value of this channel and be like, wow, he's really just showcasing everything about our methods that work and proving it. And not, oh wow, he's really showcasing everything about our methods, therefore he's infringing on our copyright or intellectual property, and we're gonna ban the fuck out of him. Right? I hope they choose the more common sense approach, which is to give me as much money as possible. But yeah, call to action, draw along. We're doing the grind node, right? Which is rotate the following forms using the given angles and make sure to keep the horizon line placement the same. Basically, rotate a form on a particular axis with the horizon line above or below, or in the middle, right? So that's what we're doing. I'm gonna really try to make sure my lines are clean. I'm gonna really focus on my line work because that's something that I notice has been slacking, right? If you're wondering who I am, essentially, if you care, and you most likely do, to some degree, about someone practicing only the correct things when it comes to art and seeing how far that practice takes them, then this channel is for you. If you don't care about me, then get the fuck off this channel and keep me on the background. Give me retention. Thank you. So, with that being said, let's get into it. Right? Wunderbar. I'm still trying to figure out an intro. I think that one was a bit better, right? If you care about X, then join me on my journey. Oh, if you don't, then fuck off. Oh, right? So we'll see how that goes. Maybe it'll be so polarizing that somebody will get fucking rage boner and they'll just do it anyways. They'll be like, you know what? Just because you said that, I will subscribe, like, and watch every single one of your videos in the background. Okay, this one is horizon line in the middle. So what type of shape do I want to do? Right, if I look at the example given again, it's just normal, it's literally just squares, or sorry, boxes, right? So it's very, very simple forms. I'm obviously trying to make it more difficult, and this is a great way to practice proportion, by the way. So if your proportions are shit and your spatial reasoning is shit, do this. Definitely do this. I'm just thinking. Okay, I think I got it down. And I'm really trying to make my lines a bit better. And they're not that great. They're really not that great at all. Which is wonderful because that means there's infinite room for improvement. Right? I'm trying to keep the horizon line in my mind as I do this. This essentially is kind of an orthographic view, right? It's 1 point perspective. But obviously I have to visualize and keep proportions in mind as I do this, and especially now line quality. And I'm purposefully making this as difficult as I can for myself. Because what's life without actual struggle? Right? So horizon line's right in the middle. So we could do something like that. Still trying to keep all cohesive, of course. And then let's see. Yes, we will add a cylinder into the mix. Hopefully it'll make more sense as I rotate it. Perhaps not the best way to showcase my understanding of perspective, but that's the thing, right? Do I have a good understanding of perspective? We will see. We will. Evidently not with proportion. That was a complete fuck up. I made this too big. These are actually completely misaligned, but it's okay. The point is, this is what I've chosen, and now we will rotate it. We will absolutely rotate it until we understand what the fuck we're drawing. So yeah, I'm really gonna focus on taking my time here. This, I can actually do something like that. But Actually, do I need to really go that far? Let's see. Well, let's again focus on proportion. Right? Keeping it to a degree, something that makes sense, because our horizon line's in the middle. We have to keep reminding ourselves that that is what's happening, because otherwise it's extremely difficult. Like, you have to keep everything in mind, essentially, right? Literally everything. It's the beauty of art. This is also why I play piano. I decided to start playing piano, because you have to keep everything in mind, which is very difficult. Okay, then this is a bit more drastic. Okay, I think that makes sense. Right, this is a much wider degree. This is a much narrower degree. I have to obviously visualize all of this to the best of my ability in order to ensure that it makes sense. This is maybe a bit wider. This is a bit narrower. So we have to keep scale in mind. Right? This is where we... Again, this is a great way to think about the different convergences that are occurring. Right, this is equally as wide. But again, this is... Ooh, see, oh, that was a horrible line. You see that? Fucking fingers like spazzing out. Okay. And then we have... See, adding the cylinder made it more difficult, so let me just think. And it comes up here. Something that's a bit way too much of a curve, but I think hopefully the point is being made. Something like that? It's on the outside, right? No, it's on the inside. So that's a mistake. See, proportion and placement is a struggle here. A genuine struggle. But this is what makes it so fun. This one was way more accurate. Right, see? And then again, this is just a mild convergence. The back end is fucked up. That's not bad. And I think I'm keeping the proportions decently in place, right? But again, I'm trying to do this off of memory as well, and I'm trying to visualize the entire thing too, so that's good. Right, now this can start becoming more of a drastic angle. This can be a bit of a wider angle. Right, yeah, I think that makes sense. This one's obviously being shifted more away, or more, it's converging more, that's what I'm trying to say. Such a funny... I'm a fuck up. Almost choked on dick there, almost being the operative word. Didn't actually choke on dick, but I did almost. See, this is good, because I'm still keeping it as a cube, but we're just adding a bunch of shit onto that cube. Because again, horizon line's in the middle, so we really have to keep that in mind as we continue this. I think I'm getting slowly better at my proportion and spatial reasoning, which is how it should be. Slow gains, in my opinion, are the best gains. Because if something takes you a very long time to understand, and you're putting a lot of effort into it, right? So in my mind, it genuinely should also take an equal amount of time to lose it. Oh shit, I fucked this up. Okay, I'm glad I noticed that. It should have just had the curve instead. It should have just been more curved. We're not seeing that. And yeah, we don't really see this. Oh, yeah, it should have been further ahead too. So that's a fuck up. It should have been bigger around there. But I'm gonna leave it because that's a mistake that needs to be acknowledged, right? We can correct the mistake next go around. Okay, and that's something that's connecting here, right? So and same thing. Again, we have to align everything now, right? That's also really important. Right? This is where it can get a bit too much for the brain. But that's where we do have to give it an honest shot. But yeah, like this, you see how it doesn't make sense anymore? Because this cylinder should have been coming out like that. See, now that would have made more sense. Like, okay, the cylinder, it's still there. But it was hard to see that. It was genuinely very hard to see that. So now we do it again. And now this side is going to have a wider degree. This is going to be similar to that, but the opposite. So this is again where proportion matters, right? I think I'm doing an okay job, right? It's not amazing, but it's okay. We're seeing more of this side, so something like that versus this. Right? Again, very, very wide. So we really don't see much at all at this point in terms of a convergence here. Yeah, see, like when I'm thinking, I'm not doing my whoopie whoopie, I'm fucking Viggy bit, I'm actually just thinking. So that's why I say keep me on the background. This can only be entertaining for so long, right? Or let this be a motivation, right? This is a bit bigger than these, so I should have focused on that. But let this be motivation. That I too am just like you. I struggle, I grow. Right, all that shit. This is too long. I should have made this shorter. Yeah, okay, that's another thing. That's also why it looks bigger. This is way too long. Because then this isn't an even square anymore. Right? Yeah, it's way too long. On the upside, I think my lines are getting better, but again, this is the angle that I struggle with the absolute most, this outward motion. So you can see how that affects it. And we should see more of this side, of course. This is converging a lot more, right? There you go, something like that. something like that. But now this is great, because now we can actually see that there is a cylinder here. Right? It's converging. It's 2-point. So I should not have drawn that line. Makes it look a bit awkward, of course. But let's see. Again, my brain's like really hurting right now. Fucking dying, to be honest. But if I just keep in mind that it's just 2-point perspective, well, we do have this as well. Right, because it is a platform. Is that correct, actually? No, I shouldn't have drawn that line. Yeah, I shouldn't have drawn that line. That's a mistake on my end. But yeah, and this is also a mistake, actually. Should have been this way, yeah. It's okay. Can still kind of fix it. Again, a lot of this will require... Oh, this one's still hidden. Damn, I didn't think it would still be hidden at this point. I think it is, though. Maybe just a little bit not hidden, right? But... something like that. Does this even fucking make sense anymore? I'm trying. Obviously, I shouldn't have drawn this line, but overall, I think it still makes a little bit of sense. Damn, that is difficult. Good shit. And then we can just have another one. This will be equally as wide. So, something like this. Right? But this way, it's really... Again, because the horizon line's in the middle, right? It's very difficult to draw something where it's in the middle. This is going to be an extreme convergence. Like an extremely slow convergence. Almost going to look the same as that, but that's just a mistake on my end. That one shouldn't have been as slow. Yeah, I know these two basically look the same, so that's on me. It's a mistake I made. Oh, wait. Okay, thank goodness I caught myself there. There you go. Again, this is going to be very thin. This is going to be slightly thicker. And this, we're going to see the full, basically, the full front of. And then, okay, if it's converging, and then it's like an extreme convergence there. I have to think about, okay, something like that, right? Same thing. That needs more curve. This is a bit better, I believe. Same thing. Oh, I fucking drew that line again. Oh my god. Okay, so accuracy is getting better, but actually remembering what the shape is not consistent. Right? Somewhere here. Okay, let's just think. okay. So something. See, yeah, like I don't know why I drew these. That's inaccurate. I didn't need to draw that. Ooh, this is hurting my brain a lot. But this is the type of shapes we need to hurt our brain, right? Because I gotta think about this grid line, gotta think about that grid line, gotta think about how it's placed. Obviously, this could have actually had much more of a curve as well. Same with this. These curves are very poor. But if I think about it, then it should be somewhere like this. Something like that, right? Because then I can do this, do that, so it's off. Should have been a bit lower. Okay, but it's decent. This should have been a bit lower. Now I see that now, right? Because it needs to be aligned at the top. But that's good. Okay, so I'm gonna rest my brain. That was very, very, very difficult. I think I genuinely did make an effort, which is all that matters, and it should be all that matters to you. Okay, let's rest our brains. Yeah, this is a great way to fuck your brain, literally. Instead of using a dick, you're using a brush pen. Specifically, the Brush Sign Pen Artist by Pentel. Again, the most retarded fucking name in existence. Unless, of course, they sponsor me and they ask me to make a video on this, in which I'll be saying it's the most genius name to have ever been made. Right? Why confuse them with your words when you can confuse them with words on a pen? It's incredible. Now, you see, that didn't even make sense, but that's because they've already confused me. It's genius. Okay, so now we have the horizon line above. So I'm gonna do the same shit, right? This will actually, this is gonna be so difficult, which is gonna be great, because I'm starting to add cylinders into the mix. Okay, yeah, let's make it very difficult for us, right? Let's think. Right, then we can have it's already not the most accurate, but that's okay. This is what's really gonna force my spatial reasoning to the next level. Right? It's fucking 1 point perspective too, so it's just gonna look awkward-ish. Awkward? Awkward as shit. Yeah, we all know my goal is to always see the grid lines. So we'll see how that goes in this context. Yeah, it's like always see the grid lines, but also make sure everything makes sense, right? I think that was too long too. We're just going to follow suit. That was a mistake. That was a bit too drastic. It's all right. And then just do this. Right? Because it's not a drastic convergence. This is a great way to practice keeping things proportionally placed as well. Right? So it keeps going, and just around back there, we will do this. So yeah, I love this. I love how difficult this is. And I'm glad that I'm really pushing myself in this regard. I want to do something else that makes it a bit more difficult. So again, because this is all about proportion and alignment, right? So we'll have right over here. There you go. This way, because this is long. We're going to establish that this is not a perfect square. This is longer, right? So something like this. Okay, see, we have a cutout in the middle. That is going to be incredibly difficult, but very, very fun to rotate. Because now look, we barely have any indicators. Like before, we have all these like line indicators, the box indicators, right? That we can keep in mind. Not here. Here it is not the case. So I'm really pushing myself. The only thing I have is this, right? This right here. So let's see. Let's see if I understand the task at hand. Bars. Okay, I need to rotate this in my mind. Yeah, if it's over here, it's gonna be too wide. I'm gonna see less of the top plane. We need to see more of the top plane. So something like this, right? Something like that. Maybe that's a bit too big, but again, technically I do still have a little bit of these indicators, which are very helpful. Yep, didn't connect that. It's a fuck up. There you go. Yeah, this is crazy. Man, this is so fun. Okay, and then we just need to make sure the size, of course, the proportion of the size is also accurate. See, that minor axis is off. And it's not big enough either. This is how we grow. That's a bit better. Because technically, I could just fraud my understanding of the space that these shapes occupy, right? Because I know I can just draw essentially an ellipse that's a bit narrower, as long as the minor axis is facing down. But that doesn't actually serve me anything, because I'm not seeing the grid, right? I'm not seeing anything. I'm just basing it off of intuition, which is, say with me now, retarded, right? And we avoid mental retardation on a daily basis. On the Viggy Fam channel, right? The Viggy Famers. I'm still pending, still figuring that out. But yes, Viggy Famers take their famming very seriously. Ah, fuck me. See? This is what happens. But, see, now I have to think about the convergences. There will be misalignments, of course. There will always be misalignments. That's the best part, is that there will always be issues. You see, this isn't even straight. I have to kind of fraud it to make it straight. But already there are issues, especially with proportion. This should have been much larger, I think. And at the very least, I should have made these taller. Or maybe I made these, no, I made these too tall in the beginning anyways. So we're actually just fixing that right now. Okay. See how difficult that was? Ooh wee, Rick. Right? So, okay, and then we have it's like right there, so we're not seeing all of it. This comes down, and then we're just seeing that. So already, oof, what a fucking amazing exercise in spatial reasoning. God damn. This is too long, actually. This is way too long now that I think about it. Because, yeah, that's way too long. Okay. So we can fix... So this length, if anything, should be the same. Should be something like this. So I'm going to move this a bit more to the side. Because we do have to think about the space that it's occupying. Remember, this occupies a real space. It exists because we insist that it exists. Right? We must insist in our mind's eye that this is real. It's definitely not Palestine. I made that joke before. I don't think that will go well with my Palestinian audience. But who knows if they have internet connection at the moment. Who knows? It's okay, I'm brown. I'm allowed to say these things, right? I'm just like them for real, except I'm not being bombed nor starving or being subject to mass discrimination. But this isn't a political channel. This is a channel about lines and shapes and forms. So let me know what you guys think about the war, guys. I'm just opening myself up to possible more donations. People are like, wow, he's so knowledgeable about what's going on in the world. I'm not knowledgeable at all, actually. I'm relatively knowledgeable. I have a friend in the military who tells me everything. So I guess it's decently knowledgeable. This might have been a mistake. Maybe. Yeah, it's too wide. It's too wide. Shouldn't have been that wide, I think. Because now we're gonna see way less of the top, and that's not. Yeah, that's a mistake. Okay, so my incessant need to say random bullshit got in the way of my actual artistic application. It's a funny joke, I think, all things considered, right? Israel, haha, Palestine is the only thing I can think of. I'm a genius. But let's see. Okay, well, this is obviously incorrect. This is just straight up incorrect. We will fix it in the next one. That's something I should have been keeping in mind is... Well, I should have visualized it, definitely. Much better. But either way, it is what it is. We just have to do our best to continue onwards, right? Cool. And now, like, see, this will look a bit more squished because obviously the space is being occupied. Oh, should have made it. Actually, it's not following the perspective properly, so that's on me. This should have been a bit wider. Yeah, I fucked up the perspective there of these two being aligned, right? It has to be aligned with this. So I didn't think of that either. So again, that's on me. I mean, obviously it's on me. I'm literally the only fucking person drawing. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Right? So aligning things, very difficult, but very fun. Because again, we're creating this image in our brain as we go. That's what I'm trying to focus on, is creating this image in my brain. See how that was a horrible line? It's because I struggle with that angle as I go. That is a bit too far back. And then this one over here, again, has to be aligned decently. So something like this. right? Something like that. It's not perfect because I already messed it up a couple times, but it's okay. That's also misaligned. That's a bit too high up. But getting better. Definitely getting better. And this is why I added those slight difficulties, right? Like this is a small difficulty bump because now not only on top of proportion, on top of placement of the horizon line, on top of consistency, on top of rotating it within that axis, I am now forcing myself to think about the grid consistently, right? Again, because ellipses are involved, you know, and symmetrical placement is involved, right? So it is super, super, super hard because I've already fucked it up quite a bit. The only thing to do now is to fraud. Right? Yeah. We still only see bits and pieces of this entire thing. It is very long though. Okay. I would love it if I could fit a fourth one here, but we'll have to see. Right? Because again, we're trying to keep... So this is much longer, obviously, so it should be roughly this long. Roughly, right? Okay, that's my line establishing the same plane. Okay, I can have this be much more drastic, therefore it's shorter. Right, and now I need to think about the fact that we're seeing it from the top again. So, we're seeing it from the top. It's not as wide. It should be a line like this. There you go. We're back. We're back, baby. We are back. We can see much more of the top now. I could have done a bit better job, but overall, it is okay. Now let's fucking do it from an angle that is extremely difficult for me. This line right here. Fuck. The struggle. Incredible. How much time has elapsed? 37 minutes. Elapsed. I might not even finish this entire thing in an hour, which I am fine with. But will my audience be fine with that? Will their tendency to see something absolutely perfectly completed get in the way of enjoying my content and giving me money? We shall have to see. We shall have to see. Okay. Okay, I fucked that up a little, but we can still salvage it. There you go. And again, like this is super condensed now, right? So let's see. There you go. Something like that. That's a bit too wide of an angle, but I think it's all right. I'm just happy that I fixed it. Like now you can see like this one and this one are in the same perspective. This is too wide. It didn't have to be like that. So we have to keep in mind like how much of the top plane are we seeing as well, right? How much of this top plane are we seeing? And why? Why can't we do it? Because we just need to focus more. Our focus needs more focus. What the fuck? Okay, I need to really see that grid line right now. Okay, that was alright. A bit misaligned, but that's okay. I'm actually really proud of myself that I'm able to do this, because I thought maybe this level of skill would have taken much longer, but clearly I'm just God. So when you have the power of him, right, as in literally being the man who created the galaxy known as this art channel, perhaps it's just a byproduct of being the best. I know I'm saying all this shit, I'm gonna fuck this up horrendously. Okay, that was a huge mistake, and my lines were not clean. So that's fine. That's okay as well. That's diverging. Yeah, it's diverging, so that's a mistake, which is okay. And I don't think I'll be able to add more space or like do another one, but that's okay. Like the thing is, we're upping the difficulty as well, right? So just rotating it while upping the difficulty, I think is still a decent I think it's a decent trade-off. It's a bit further away. There you go. Yeah, so we never really see the inside of it, which makes sense, I think. Yeah, it's always being blocked by some part of the perspective or another, but I'm going to rest my brain, and you shall do the same. Seriously though, give your brain a rest, especially if you're trying as hard as I was. But there's a lot of issues in the consistency of the ellipses here. I see that, I 100% see that, because I didn't see the grid as well as I could have, so that's on me. But yeah, let me rest my brain. Wow, yeah, I love this exercise, man. I fucking, I would love to do this a lot, but I might move on after this. Because what did I say? After I did it initially, I said I'll do at least 3 more hours, right? And I did. I did 1, 2, and then this is the third hour. So we might leave it at this, and then I'm gonna have to go through the modules on the artwod, like the grind node, because I only want to do the grind nodes, right? That's what reinforces the things that we know. So maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll double side this page as well with this practice. But yeah, I do want to I mean, I might as well have to be honest, because I'm not gonna have time to do the entire thing. It's taking 20 minutes roughly per thing. So I don't know. We'll have to see. It depends on whether I can finish this page in time. Or maybe I'll just go over the hour mark. It doesn't really fucking matter at the end of the day. When people, much more people, thousands of people watch this and I'm monetized, then it'll be a simple matter of literally getting more revenue per episode. So gotta keep that in mind, gotta keep the money in mind. Let's see. Okay. So this is a much wider degree. So we could do something like initially, this is not what I was thinking I would be doing, but it's okay that it became this. Right? And we could even have something like, so this way I really have to keep spatial reasoning in check. Could literally just have something like this. right? Okay, probably should have made it a bit higher up, but we can fix that. And then, see, now this way I really have to keep the proportions in mind. Maybe I can even make it harder. There you go, something like that, right? We're seeing mainly the top of this. Okay. The shape itself that I drew was kind of wonky. But let's see if I can make something coherent out of that, right? Because this is straight. We know that's just following, and it's just more the top. Okay. So let's see what I can do. And this is straight. So those two things we can completely see less of the top. So that one, this already kind of fucked it up because it shouldn't have been this narrow. Probably should have been something more like this, but let's see. No. Yeah, I kind of already fucked this up, but let's see if I can just fraud it a little bit. Just a little bit of frauding. It's gonna look really weird, of course, but there you go. That's a bit better already. Now everybody's just gonna wonder why is there such a tick ran? I'm just gonna say because I wanted it. I couldn't think of any other reason. I just wanted it like that. Yeah, see? Okay. Again, proportions. We're seeing more of this side. Right? Really have to think about this stuff. Okay, and then it is diagonal, right? So something like, I already kind of got it pretty wrong. So this is where my brain is actually clearly not functioning at 100% capacity. It's just a bit out, right? I know it's a decent amount more out. Something like that. Still gotta try to keep my lines decent. Something seems missing almost. But I think that's literally the shape. So we can see a little bit too much of the top. Oh, well, I guess no, we don't see that, so that's fine. That's fine too. There's a bit of an obstruction, but let's see. Yeah, definitely should have thought a lot harder about the spacing, which I'm doing now, so that's still progress. I'm still thinking as to what is being rotated and what makes sense. Yeah, at the very least, this is a great way to practice spatial reasoning, guys. And girls. Because you're just reinforcing to yourself that you can rotate things, right? That you can understand the relation between lines, between forms, between objects, right? And you can create something that's relatively believable, even if it isn't perfect. And I think that's okay. Like the whole perfection aspect of it, right? I think it's fine if it's not some incredibly accurate thing, but you do want to ensure that at least it makes sense, right? And we want to strive for accuracy, don't get me wrong. We want to strive to be as accurate as possible because that's what's going to reinforce the believability. But it's not the end of the world if it's not accurate, as long as you're working towards believability, right? Like, I think this is slowly, very, very, very slowly getting a bit better. You know, better in the butter, something like that. But, and I do want to do the bottom one as well. So yeah, we're definitely gonna go like an hour and a half in this video in this practice session. It doesn't really matter for me. At the end of the day, I'm just practicing, right? I don't really give a shit about whether it's oh no, gonna take too long or not, right? None of that matters to me personally. I'm just a YouTuber doing what a YouTuber does, which is make content and entertain the masses because I'm hilarious, right? Maybe that's a bit too long, but we'll see. Again, oh, my stomach is grumbling. Good shit. I'm cutting right now, so if my stomach is grumbling, that means... Oof, I don't know if this was correct, actually. Yeah, we're seeing more of the top, so that's not good. So that's something I should have focused on. I thought I visualized it, but clearly I didn't. Right, this is more so akin to that one. But... let's see, something coming out right in the middle here. Then it's just sticking out like so. Yeah, I thought I addressed it, but I didn't, clearly. Actually no, maybe I did, because this is a bit of a wide plane. I don't think it's too bad. But let's see. Good shit. Probably turned it a bit too fast here, to be honest. But who knows? There we go. And this is also equally as wide. Right. Be very careful with that. Maybe I fucked that up. It's actually hard to see now, genuinely, where the mistakes lie. I did make this a bit easier for myself, I think, because the back of the shape has not really many manipulations to keep in mind. Really nothing, actually. And I might have even fucked up the proportions. Here. Yeah, because again, like, look at this. That is... I think I genuinely have been... Yeah, the proportions are still an issue. Right? So yeah, just gotta pay more attention, I guess. Well, not I guess. I'm just gonna put an ellipse here, so at least there's something to give it a mark, right? And then let's make it a bit longer. Make this because I need to retain the view. These are not as accurate for sure. And that's not good, but it's okay. I'm just trying to figure it out. Right. Maybe it can be something like that. That adds a bit more dimensionality. Right, it's like, okay, I guess there's a cutout here. I don't know why there's a cutout here, but there is. Yeah, definitely lost a decent amount of the vanishing point. There you go. That's a bit better. That's more accurate. Even though, like, that one's really wide. So, yeah, see, like, it's never super incredible. Okay, so mistakes. Genuine mistakes. Are these all seemingly on the same plane? Okay, we're definitely not seeing as much of the top plane from this one. I think it's okay, but there's still issues for sure. Proportion, especially proportion. Line, obviously, could always use work. Right. Okay, let me rest my brain. And yes, I encourage you to do that, all that stuff. And then I'm going to do one last shape, because it has to be from the bottom as well. Horizon line on the bottom. I'm going to really, really, really try my best to envision what I need to in terms of the grid and the proportion. Because, yeah, lost it a little. Lost it a decent amount here. It was like 40% there versus like 60 to 70% effort here, right? So that's okay. Let me rest. Wunderbar. Obviously, I think the big issue is also the fact that I made a shape that was retarded, right? Like, I made a shape that wasn't really that clearly defined. So, I myself wasn't really clearly defining the proportions or anything either, right? So, let's do something like this. Right? Okay. And this will be the front of our shape. And then we'll just have something on the bottom. How about that? That'll make it pretty clear. Where the sides are. Right. Maybe I made it off center by accident, but there you go. A bit more simple, but again, I think trying to establish a grid of sorts, right? And yes, it's been an hour, so this will be like an hour and 20 minutes. It's fine. I'm gonna practice, which is all that matters. But right, we need to make sure proportion And this, again, like, it's all about placement as well, right? So it really, 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 really challenges your understanding of where things should be and how it should be, right? Because we do have a minor axis now. Like, look, this is completely off, right? It's already lower than it needs to be. So it's great. It's a great way to practice placement of objects. Again, reinforcing your minor axis. So if that's something here, then it comes out. And then we have maybe something like this, right? Really forcing you to see the grid. This one was a bit better. Or at least that ellipse was a bit better, but the lines could have always been better, right? Proportion-wise, we are improving, but that's also because I'm really trying to focus on it right now too, as well. Right? We don't want to just let the we don't want to just let this kind of slip past us. Okay. So again, and then again, placement. It's literally right in the middle, and it's a bit longer of an ellipse, or of a cylinder as well. So I have to keep that in mind. And I have to make sure it follows the minor axis. And it's still decently large enough in order to convey what I'm trying to convey. Which is, again, proportion. And yeah, my lines are really poor right now because this is an angle that I struggle with, which is good. If I didn't struggle with this angle, then again, there's no point to even trying because I'm not improving. And improvement is growth. And growth could be a tumor depending on who you are. So, get that shit checked. Now, this might have been too small. Again, when your lines are poor quality, it's actually more difficult to tell what's accurate. Because look, these lines are so poor quality that it takes away from the accuracy of what I'm drawing. Right? So that's something to keep in mind as well. And then we can keep going. We are rotating it this way, right? That way. So we want subtlety. Subtlety is the name of the game. Right? Cool. So that's a bit smaller. Again, we got to think about how this is going to fit. The middle. Seeing the grid lines is one thing, but internalizing and applying is a whole different game. Right? Because you are actually having to think about what you're doing while doing it. Or you're actually, I guess a better way to explain it is you have to visualize the thing you want to enact and then actually just go forth and continue to visualize it while placing these lines that are shit, right? While making these incredible mistakes that are furthering your growth. It's the fucking best thing in the world. Look at that. Look at that fucking horrendous, horrendous cylinder. It's amazing. Okay. And then I guess this will be pretty fucking straight, right? At this point, it's basically 1 point perspective, which I don't know if the exercise is like that's what they require. But hey, I'm here now, so might as well just finish the job. Yeah, poor lines. That actually would have looked a lot better if I didn't fuck up the lines, but it's okay. And then this is gonna be much larger. Yeah, you see how much I struggle with this angle, drawing in this angle. It's fucking amazing. There you go. I guess I could have made that stick out a bit larger. This one's too big now. So yeah, proportion issues, right? This was pretty good. I guess this could have been a lot better, to be honest. But now I guess we're just gonna go to the other side. See? Like, none of this is really anything impressive. But the point is, it's not about trying to be impressive, it's just about trying to be better. Right? And slowly just focusing on the things that matter. Which is, seeing the shapes that you're trying to make. Seeing the fucking perspective grid, all that shit. I guess I'm a broken record, but I need to stop muttering. I mutter a bit too much when I get in the drawing zone. See, now that's a bit too big, but cool. I guess that definitely didn't take as much time. Only an extra 7 minutes, but it's because I drew a simple shape. Maybe I was drawing too fast. A lot of things can be worked on. A lot, and inordinate is that even fucking? I'm gonna have to search this up later. Inordinate. I believe that means substantial. If not, then I completely apologize to nobody but myself, because I'm an idiot, not to you. You're an idiot for different reasons, because you don't like, subscribe, and leave a comment and all that shit, right? Wonderful. But this was very difficult. This was very good. So I'm gonna be back in half an hour to draw, and in that time I'll deliberate whether I move on to the next part of the artwod roadmap or if I continue onwards with this practice, which I did mess up a little bit. Yeah, see, we're seeing more of the bottom plane. We shouldn't be seeing that much of the bottom plane. So that's good. The fact that I know that. Wonderful. I know this gap is kind of annoying, at least to me, but it's what it is, right? I don't think I had the space to fit in without fucking up the proportions, even though I already fucked it up constantly everywhere. But maybe I will do this again, just to really get it in my mind. Again, I can always go back to these grind notes, right? I could always do the beginner roadmap once and then come back to this and do it again. So there's nothing stopping me there, right? Choose the most. I can literally just keep grinding the beginner. Like, I can literally just do it once and then keep grinding the beginner roadmap grind notes, right? Keep going through them until they release the intermediate fundamentals roadmap, because they do have a plan for that artwod. It's gonna be great, and then go through that, right? So technically, this isn't even what the beginner one requires. The beginner one just requires box, 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 box. I'm the one. This is basically already intermediate, I guess. But yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys all I hope you all had fun drawing. I hope you all challenged yourself. I hope you made plenty of mistakes. If not, the vast majority of practice was mistakes. And I hope you made the effort to appreciate and enjoy those mistakes, because scientifically, that's actually what's good for you. So with that being said, as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please give me money. Thank you.